If you want to keep thinking ducks are cute, don't Google duck reproduction or what male ducks do to female ducks, because I would have been better off not knowing, but I had to learn about it, so they're not that cute to me anymore. They're still cute in this movie because they're cartoons. Migration! I didn't know this was gonna be a kid's movie when I watched it, even though it was an animation. But you know how Pixar animations are usually like adults can enjoy them too, because usually they have a story. They usually have like this touching emotional element that I was also expecting from this movie, but there wasn't. This movie was a very straightforward story about ducks migrating. I want to talk about ducks in this movie because that's all you see in this. Well, no, there are other birds too, but it's mainly about this family of ducks. They're funny, it's a comedic movie. It's good if you're a kid or if you have kids and you just want to show them a nice, optimistic movie that teaches you about taking risks and going on adventures and happy endings. That's all great. But as I was watching this movie as an adult, because I'm an adult, I'm an adult without kids who should have kids because I'm at that age where I should have kids, but who shouldn't have kids because I'm mentally traumatized. And this movie made me realize how mentally traumatized I am. Right off the bat, we start out with this family of ducks and they're like in this little pond. They're mallards. They only migrate when they have a necessity to migrate. So if they have enough food and they have a safe place to stay the whole year, they won't migrate. So this family of mallards, they live in this pond area and they've never felt the need to migrate. The dad has this very strong aversion to leaving the pond, like leaving their nest, because he's scared. He has this fear that the moment they leave, something bad's gonna happen. Like the world is dangerous. And I'm just like thinking the whole time, in the beginning, I was waiting for them to reveal what kind of past this dad duck had. What traumatized him so much that he's so scared of leaving his pond. This is gonna be one of those movies. He's gonna overcome this, but you're gonna find out why he's so scared to leave the nest. And then that wasn't even the story. He was just a scared duck. Like, are you born just either brave or a coward? They always say that pain is the best teacher. You don't touch the hot stove top because you've been burnt. So I'm like, was he burnt? What burned him? But no, he's just scared. And then, okay, after that, I was like, okay, that wasn't the story. They meet this flock of ducks come. They migrate from another area. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're headed off to Jamaica for the winter. It's a really nice place. Y'all should come with us. The dad's like, oh no, even though the mom and the two kids, they want to. But then eventually they do go anyway. So I'm like thinking, this story is just gonna be a lesson on how the grass isn't always greener on the other side. When they get to Jamaica, they're gonna realize it's not a fancy dreamland. It's not as great as all those migrating birds describe it to be, but that wasn't the story either. The story, they do go on this adventure. They also go to New York City, which is really nice because I like New York City. I don't live there, but I'm like obsessed with Central Park, and they do go to Central Park. And it just reminded me of that time I was at Central Park. I have like this video clip of me describing why I like Central Park. It's probably not that enticing. It probably was a bad advertisement for Central Park. Must visit destination if you're here in New York. So yeah, they end up going to save this other parrot. I don't know if he's a parrot. I don't think he's a parrot. Whatever he is, he's like a bird from Jamaica, and he's owned by this like chef in New York City, and this chef ends up being like the crazy villain guy, the antagonist that ends up chasing them all across the country because they messed up his restaurant and they stole his bird. Parrot, it's not a parrot. I'm just gonna call him a parrot because I don't know what he is. They release him from his cage and then he guides them to Jamaica. Along the way, they also go to this duck farm where there's a lot of domesticated ducks. The chef arrives and he's about to collect them to take them to the restaurant. And then the family just convinces all of the ducks to fly away from the chef, escape the duck farm that was like their paradise, but then they realize, oh no, we're actually gonna get eaten, so we're gonna just fly away. But I'm just like, domesticated ducks don't fly. And I had to learn that the hard way because I did go to a duck farm and I saw the ducks there. They were like walking around this little stream. And then I went back home and I asked my dad, I was like, hey dad, I saw a bunch of ducks on a duck farm today. And I'm just surprised. I thought they would put them in cages or like have them in a little building because wouldn't they just fly away? And then my dad was like, oh no, Jess, those ducks, They can't fly, sweetie. Only wild ducks fly. If I were a kid watching this movie and I saw those ducks on the farm fly away, I would have never learned that domesticated ducks don't fly. I don't think I would have complained about that, but if I took my kid to watch this movie, I'd be like, okay, everything was fine in this movie, but I just want you to know that those ducks, they wouldn't have been able to fly. Overall, it was pretty good. It was too optimistic for me because as an adult, my dreams have been crushed to the point where I can't watch this movie and actually take it seriously, which is really sad because I'm like, oh, you know, it would be a great movie. As a kid, I would have watched it and I probably would have thought the ducks were really cute, especially Gwen. Gwen was really cute. The mom is your classic encouraging mom that wants to go on an adventure. And the dad is kind of your classic stickler dad, wants to protect the family. Or maybe he just wanted to protect the family because he didn't want more trouble for him because he has responsibility to keep the family safe and protected. So I guess he wanted to take the easy way out, but then the mom was like, no, you're holding us back from our true potential as a family. In the end, they do make it to Jamaica, and it is as beautiful as everyone was saying it was. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so unrealistic. This is the most unrealistic realization of a dream. They end up going on more adventures. So the whole lesson in all this was take risks. Don't be afraid to chase your dreams. And that's a great message for kids out there and adults who have not been traumatized. It was such a simple story. Go to watch this movie with your kids or just watch it if you want to feel like a kid again. But this is not, I don't think this was one of those shows that if you were a kid and you watched this and then you grew up and then you would see a video about things in Illumination's migration that you missed as a child but now can realize as an adult. Okay, I don't think there's gonna be one of those unless I just missed it. Maybe I missed it. I didn't mean to be mean about it. This movie is a cute movie. It's a cute movie and it's good for kids. Okay, that's all.